winter sport superpower in a few years. Today I will cover a little bit different topic than you have been heard since now, and I will be talking about education. I believe that education in winter sports is a key ingredient for sustainable and successful future of winter sports. I can tell you because I live with winter sports all my life. I was a professional athlete in alpine skiing, competing in the World Cup for 30 years, being in the top 15 skiers in the world for 5 years, won the World Cup, and I have competed at 3 different Winter Olympic Games. Later on, I established the consortium which is called the Winter Sport Expert Group, which I will describe later on. But now I want to point out that I'm also coming from Slovenia. Slovenia is one very small country in Europe between the Alps and the Adriatic Sea. But what's most known about Slovenia is that we are the winter sport, one of the most successful winter sport country in the world. We have been known by very active nation. More than 67% of our population is sport active. More than 39% of our population does sport more than once on the weekly basis. 92% of our population swims. Every single child in Slovenia goes through the school process in the primary school and learns about winter sports. That's why we have created a very strong winter sport culture. And I think by developing the winter sports, creating the winter sport culture is a very important thing. In Slovenia, we have also added our identity to winter sports. I will explain you how we have done that. We have a long tradition and history in winter sports. We are present, or we are developing winter sports for more than the last 90 years. Throughout the period, we have had many very successful athletes in winter sports who have won the highest international competitions like Olympic Games, World Championships, World Cups. For example, we are a nation with only 2 million people. In Sochi Winter Olympic Games, Slovenia have won 8 Olympic medals, what gives us 1 Olympic medal per 250,000 inhabitants. That put us on the top place in the world. We also organize and host winter sport competitions at the highest level every year. We host competitions like World Cup or World Championship in several winter sport disciplines: alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, ski jumping, cross-country skiing, biathlon, telemark, ice hockey. So we have gained a lot of experiences, what it takes to organize also the events at the highest level. What contributes to our winter sports culture is also that we have one of the best winter sport education systems in the world. But what's most important is its integration into all stakeholders in Slovenia. We have one of the best winter sport experts because through the history in this 90-year period, we didn't do everything right. We did some good things and we did some wrong things. But what we have gained out of 19 years of experience is we have learned what works and what brings you to the top. We have a very good school system. We have very good winter sport class operations. We believe, or we are a living proof that the ski organization or interconnection or collaboration between different winter sport partners who deal with people who are engaged in winter sport is crucial. That's why we pay a lot of attention in that regard. To better understand how impactful the education in winter sport is, let me first describe you how I understand sport is divided. Sport is divided into three major segments. And one is a professional sport, one is a mass sport, or individual or recreational sport, and the third segment is children and youth sport. I will lead you through every single segment. Professional sport, known as top athletes, is the one who we see on TV, who we follow on the media. This segment is very important to create the national heroes, national role models. Professional sport is well organized, well managed, and well financed. It has a very good impact on creating the popularity of sport. The second segment is individual or recreational or so-called mass sport. This segment is probably the one who you are very interested in. Why? Because most of the winter sport industry is doing business in this segment. Today, people can choose what kind of activities they're going to do, what kind of sport equipment they will choose, what accessories they will use. So that's why this segment is very important for the industry. It's very important also from the aspect of impacting the tourism development. And what I believe is an important factor is the health benefit of the society. And then there is the third segment, which I personally believe is the most important by considering developing the winter sports and having the sustainable success. And that is the kids and youth sports segment. You might ask me why this segment is the most important. Because it represents the basis for previous two mentioned segments. If someone is engaged in the winter sport as a kid, there is more likely that they will keep enjoying or being participant in the winter sports when they got married, when they got their own kids, and so on. It's the most easiest segment to learn. Why? Because kids are the most teachable. And don't estimate the kids and youth segment engages not just the kids, but their parents. Their parents are the ones who are trying to support or provide their kids something what is valuable. And the sport can be one of the most valuable things kids nowadays can get, because kids understand sport as a game, as a play. And once we understand something as a game, as a play, we are willing to try new things. We are willing to stand up if we fell down. So that's why the kids segment is so important in sport development. And I have added also that it represents the key for the sustainable winter sport, sustainable development in winter sports. This is crucial scene to understand how our education backbone structure works. We have four major pillars. One is sport in national education system. One is sport out of school, meaning that you can participate in the sport off school time. The third segment or third pillar is the competition sport. And the fourth pillar is dedicated to para-sports or sport for disabled people. So in our educational system, we have three steps. We have sport integrated into the primary school. Every single kid or pupil in our school has so-called summer school week and winter school week. That means that all kids learn or get familiar with summer sports and get familiar with winter sports. That's why we have such a high rate of knowledge from kids level on that they learn winter sports. They definitely learn skating and skiing. So the cross-country skiing or biathlon or ski jumping are just a variation and are not included in this formal program. There is a continuation of sport engagement at high schools and at different universities, not just at sport universities, at all universities. Second pillar, sport out of the school. We have program or educational things, educational content for the preschool kids. Why? Because in Slovenia we have realized that parents want to put or want to engage kids in sport at very early age. So today we have about 4 times more sports discipline available for the kids up to age 12 years as we had 15 years ago. That's how fast the demand for the sport is increasing. We have off-school sport education for pupils. Most of those activities are run by ski clubs. Not by school, but ski clubs. Ski clubs are not are private clubs. They don't have. They can use in most cases the facilities of the schools, but they create their own programs. They create their own education. And we have that off-school activities also at high school and at university level. Third pillar is the competition sport. Some of the kids have been recognized through the talent management, through other observation, that they have some talent for different winter sports. So there is a general selection process, mostly done by sport clubs, not by nation, not by formal education system, who propose who might be qualified for the quality or top sport. And then we have the youth sport focused to the top sport, and later on the quality sport and top professional sport. We consider top professional sport those athletes who are qualified or members of national team competing on international level. Quality sport means those who are still on the top, but they are competing on the national level. I'm sure you have missed out, but all squares on this slide are connected, one from the top to bottom and one among each other. This represents how the integration or exchange, if someone has been recognized as a good athlete in the school, is being proposed to the sport club or can become or can join the competitions. So the interconnection between those pillars is crucial. But what I believe is the most important is that every single pillar lead down to the general sport activity, which creates so high numbers, as I have mentioned earlier, by sport activity or sport participation. We have basically two major organizations leading or being responsible for education in winter sports. One is, of course, University of Ljubljana, especially Faculty of Sports, and the other one is National Association of Instructors, Teachers, and Coaches in winter sports. Those two organizations' main goal is to develop the development of winter sports for all kinds of winter sports disciplines, for all kinds of level, from the basic level, from the recreational level, to the top competition level. They are in charge of implementation of scientific knowledge into the practice. They are also in charge to educate high-quality winter sport instructors and trainers, and providing the best conditions for learning, training, and process. And what's even more important, they take care for continuous updating of training programs for winter sport instructors, because winter sports are very dynamic. It's not the story that once it's set forever. It's very dynamic. Everything is changing so fast in winter sports. The demand, the conditions, the society, the competition. So you have to be very agile. That's why the collaboration or interconnection between major players in winter sport development is so crucial. For example, in Slovenia, despite someone is not the graduate from sport university, can also become, for example, a ski instructor. It has to be 18 years old, and it has to go through different program levels. And those program levels include theoretical part of training, which are licensed lectures, are not something that came to my mind and I think it's good, but it's a licensed program, followed by practical part of training, which is led by Slovenian demo team. Demo team is the highest level of ski performance. Those are the ones who create or who teach ski teachers. Then there is a special theoretical part of training, theoretical exam, and practical work. Everything is being licensed and everything is being monitored either from state examination commission or through the licensed lecture. But once you get or you conclude that program, you get the certification, you get the diploma, and you are qualified to teach others. It's a very demanding system. It's not very easy to get it, but it's doable and everyone can do if there is a commitment and sincerity. Among or adding to education, you've been talking a lot of infrastructure development. I understand the infrastructure is important. But infrastructure without proper education could not generate sustainable success. I will show you a short video which is a great education and best infrastructure delivers sustainable success. It's the case of Planica, our Nordic ski center, who hosts the highest level of competitions to world championships, as a training base, as educational base, and as a sport in nature camps for kids. So we have the license. So the Winter Sport Expert Group is a consortium of best companies and best experts in the field of winter sports from Slovenia and broader. We are experts in planning, architecture, design, consulting, education, and management in winter sports. Just to give you a reference, that our team members have successfully concluded more than 200 international successful winter sports-related infrastructure, including ski resorts, ski jumps, biathlon centers, and we have been already engaged in 3 different Olympic venues. I'm not sure if everybody knows that China has trusted us too. Currently, there are 4 Chinese national Olympic teams led by Slovenian as a head coach. It was alpine skiing, snowboard, ski jumping, and ski cross. So we are very honored that even China has started to recognize our capability and has a big trust towards us. So therefore, for the conclusion of my presentation, I would like to share with you one of the rarest opportunities